So this rental market is much different than in the past. Inflation has changed a lot of things, and you may be wondering why. In this video, we're going to talk about that. Great. What's going on, everybody? P. Candelario here with Denise, Pompey, and Belinda, and we are RE Solutions. This week in Tidbit Thursday, we're going to be talking about renewals and rent increases. A lot of things have changed in the last year or so, and most of the things that have changed during these past years are houses or rental properties specifically have been sitting on the market a lot longer than usual. Before, back in the day, we used to put a house on the market, and within 2 to 3 weeks, they would get an application and be rented out. But now it's kind of taking a little bit longer than that. We have actually properties on the market that have been sitting for 60, 70, 80 days right now.
Painful.
And that's because individuals aren't really moving as much. Of course, after COVID or after the pandemic, a lot of costs have gone up. So turnover costs have gone up, and when a house is sitting on the market, basically the owner is losing money because of, one, they're not getting rent coming in, and two, they're still maintaining the property. So that means that they're paying for utilities, they're paying for landscaping, there's other costs, and those vendors have increased prices due to
Inflation.
There you go, inflation.
Inflation sucks.
And the last thing is either flat or reduced rents. Basically, here in San Antonio, we've seen that rent has pretty much stayed the same. And in some cases, we've actually decreased rent on some of the properties just to try to get them rented out. It also goes for renewals. Our renewals, some of them, we actually have to decrease the rent in order to keep the tenants into the property. And these are just some of the major things that are happening within the rental market.
Yeah, because according to apartmentlist.com, 60 of the 100 largest U.S. cities have had a negative year-over-year rent growth for all of 2023. Now, we're coming towards the end of 2024, and I can only imagine that those numbers are going to continue to either be the same or go higher in that negative route. And it wouldn't surprise me if we're sitting at maybe even 70 of those 100 cities having a year-over-year decrease and continuing to either be stagnant or have a decrease in rental values for that particular area. Here in San Antonio, we've definitely noticed, as Pete was saying earlier, that we've had to either decrease rents to keep tenants in place or offer incentives such as 1 month free for a 15-month lease, because notoriously the winter time frame when this is being filmed is just naturally a slow part or a slow moment in the rental market, and we tend to get lower rents anyway in the winter than we do in the summer months. Now you add that in conjunction with inflationary prices and the stagnation, and yeah, prices are just no bueno.
So
People don't want to move.
Yeah.
And we said in the last video, in the last Tidbit Thursday, about how during COVID, when we had that frenzy, we saw prices skyrocket. So now you're seeing the correction of it in our market now, and we even see it in sales. Prices are lowering because the market is correcting itself. You go up, you have to go down. So
And it's kind of a natural cycle. Luckily in San Antonio, we've always been traditionally very stable. So we have only seen about a 10 to 20, not even 20, 10% decrease
It's been about
overall. Yeah. So for rental prices, that's about $100 to $200.
Yeah, it's not a major decrease, but whatever decrease, as far as for renewals, whatever decrease a tenant can get, they're happy with it because things are expensive.
So the owners, it makes it better for the tenants. However, the owners do suffer somewhat because taxes continue to increase, HOA costs increase. However, it's something that we sometimes have to explain to our first-time landlords that the most expensive aspect of owning a managing a home is a vacancy. When it's vacant, all funds are coming out owners' pockets without any kind of reimbursement. So even if you have to decrease the price of your rental, you have to look at it. Would you prefer receiving maybe 90 cents on the dollar or just nothing? Just me personally, I'll take the 90 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just something to take into consideration because during that vacancy, you have your mortgage, you have whatever turnover we have to do as far as cleaning the property, carpet cleaning, if we have to do any kind of repairs, we have to rekey the property. The landscaping has to be taken care of. All those things, utilities, all those things that Pete was referencing earlier, those things need to continue to get paid. Now, if you're not getting any buffer or any money coming in during that time frame, that gets pricey.
Yeah. And a lot of owners think that, well, if it's a turnover, we'll just take the money out of the security deposit. But unfortunately, the only money you can take out of the security deposit is for damages that are above normal wear and tear. So if there's other repairs that just need to be done in order to put the house on the market, it's coming out of the owner's pocket.
So it's definitely one of the reasons you want to push for renewal and not necessarily push for increasing the rent. We want to keep them in place.
Yeah.
But
so in this market, we, unfortunately, the discussion in the past, the discussion was, okay, Mr. Owner, your tenant is moving out, and the market is saying that you can increase your rent by $50, $100. So in this market, and it's unfortunate, but it is where we're at right now, the conversation is, hey, instead of doing an increase, let's go ahead and just focus on keeping your tenant in place. Okay, that way you don't have to deal with a vacant property like Pompey was saying, and you actually continue getting money month over month. Because what happens is if they move out, now you got to deal with all of that. But this is only temporary until this market corrects itself.
Yeah. It's not all doom and gloom. San Antonio is still a great place to invest in, and we still have traditionally the cycles. After the cycle will right itself, we still have a good increase every year.
And this year was a little bit off too, as far as the people moving during the summer. Not as prevalent as
in the past.
In the past, where people were moving. But we hope this will change next year. And one of the things that we try to alleviate for owners is if your property is going to be renewed within the winter months, we try to adjust the renewal dates so that it falls, the lease end dates fall on the summer months. That way, if we do need to go ahead and move the tenant out, turn it over, then at least it's in a better cycle kind of thing, which a better cycle, more money.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Exactly. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, in order to be able to provide a good reason to have your tenant renew, is you definitely want to fix things when they break. Sending thank you cards and happy birthday cards is wonderful, but what's really important to a tenant is that maintenance is being addressed.
Yeah. Maintaining the property is one of the biggest things, biggest complaints that we get from tenants, or concerns. I won't say complaints. Concerns, especially if, as far as for tenants moving out, the reason for moving out kind of thing.
Yeah, because some people may think, but let's just let the tenant move out and let's try. We're telling you, in this market, people have choices. We see it in both markets, in sales and rentals. They have choices. So yes, it may be more economical for a tenant to stay in place and maybe pay a small increase. But like Belinda said, if you're not taking care of your property and they're not having a good experience in your property, they're gonna think, well, I can move and get a month off, because a lot of places are offering a month rent free, and I can actually get a house probably better than this for the same price or even less. That is where our market is right now, okay? There are so many properties on the market right now. So it just makes sense just for now to do a renewal over a rent increase. And again, it's just maybe this year, maybe not next year, but it could be next year, but definitely for this year.
This cycle.
There's still some ways to save some money. One of them is through tax deductions. So any type of maintenance that you do on your home while you have a tenant living there, or to prep your home for a tenant, is a tax write-off. The other thing you can do is make sure that you are
Fighting your taxes?
yeah, that if you got property taxes that are increasing, you can always contest those. And it's free to do that, or you could pay a company to do it for you.
And if you have a property management company, because that's one of the things we can offer our owners, is if they're like, hey, my rent is not increasing, but my taxes are, we can do a market analysis for you. That's like the first fight in it. And we can give that to you if you want to do it on your own. I know we pay a company to do look at our taxes every year, and we always get a slight
Decrease.
It doesn't increase as much as if we didn't fight it. So
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I know this video sounds a lot of doom and gloom, but it's not really. We just want to give you the facts of what's going on in the market out there right now. And hopefully in 2025, things change. I don't think it's going to change drastically, but hopefully things improve a little bit better so that we can continue to increase our rental rates and investments and money in your pocket. So till next time, I guess we'll talk to you later.
bye.